this video is about Zack, my old, he wasn't really my co-host. He was kind of my co-host.
He was your co-host.
Okay. He was. So he was kind of doing some co-hosting. It kind of evolved that way. And a great story. You got to check it out. But you're going to start noticing that Zack isn't doing the videos with me anymore, which is bothersome because people love Zack. And I love Zack. But I want to mention the reason why is, and I'm not going to get super specific. Okay. I can't get super specific.
No, please.
But
no.
Zack recently had an issue.
I'm trying to see how you're going to explain this one.
Okay. Zack had an issue where he was charged in the state for he was charged.
No, for an alleged.
He was charged for an alleged crime that occurred shortly after he got out of prison a year or so ago. Something happened, got out. Something happened, and the state charged him with a crime. So he didn't. Well, actually, they just started calling him and asking him questions, and he basically just ignored them. He kind of just blew the whole thing off.
Which is something that you should not do.
Which is a mistake. So he kind of was like,
nothing says you're guilty more than not taking the phone calls from the police.
They pursued him, and eventually they charged him, and a warrant was filed for his arrest. Now, that warrant there are different grades of warrants. That warrant was the type of warrant where you don't get picked up. They don't send anybody out to grab you. It's the kind of warrant where basically if you get pulled over and the cop runs your name.
It's a bench warrant.
Right, and they go, hey, there's a warrant.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry. Oh, by the way, this is Juan. Juan's here to kind of just, be the buffer, right? Buffer? No, not a buffer. What?
Well, the way you put it was, my co-host got arrested. The other guy is sick, so the only other guy that can come is you. So that is exactly what the text was said.
That wasn't my best.
But
I was off on my manipulation game.
Completely off. So this is the way I see it. It's for some kind of a federal requirement, maybe to be in the air or something. He needs a minority to co-host with him. So he had Zack, then he had somebody else that apparently got deported, and then there's just me.
All right.
And he ran out of minorities now. Then it's Kobe, but he doesn't qualify.
Which camera am I looking at?
Whatever one.
All right. So what ended up happening is that there was a warrant for his arrest, and it eventually sparked his federal probation to be revoked. Because first of all, in federal probation, you're not supposed to.
So he got picked.
I'm telling you what happened. What happened was it sparked his probation officer said, look, there's a warrant for his arrest. He's been charged in the state. I'm going to violate his probation as a result of it, which is what they do. So they violate his probation, which the difference between the state and the feds is the feds for for violation of your federal probation, they won't wait for you to get picked up. They will come and get you. And so they came to Zack's sister's house looking for him. And as soon as he heard that, he knew, okay, I'm in trouble. I got a problem. So he immediately called up his family and called me and said, listen, there's an issue, man. I'm going to have to turn myself in. So I was like, okay, cool. So I think the next day or the day, whatever, within a day or two, he turned himself in. He put on his jail clothes. So he's like, because you don't care. He
had them already in storage?
No, just clothes that he just didn't care about.
Because I don't have jail clothes anymore.
No.
But
well, he put on some clothes that he doesn't care about. So he went and his sister dropped him off and he turned himself in. So that's where it's at. As he and I have talked about it and discussed it, the problem is that there's a likelihood that he may be out in 6 months. There's a likelihood that he may be in for 2 years without being too specific on what's going on. At the very least, the probation violation can be up to, let's say, a year or two. Even if and here's the thing, even though he's maintaining that he didn't do anything wrong in the situation.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Like even he's saying, look, the state will drop it because I really didn't do anything wrong. So they're going to drop it. But he also knows he's done enough legal research and he's been around the system like I have. It really doesn't matter that you got charged and they dropped it. And okay, you know what? It was wrong. That's not the right person. We made a mistake, or he didn't really do anything wrong. Doesn't matter. If you have interaction with law enforcement and they violate your probation, there's a good chance that what they're going to end up doing is sentencing you for a probation violation.
The remaining of your probation.
Yeah. Well, they're going to, and so his fear is he may end up doing a year or two, even though he feels he didn't do anything wrong. And the judge may also say, okay, they dropped the charge. You've been locked up 6 months. You know what? I'm going to let you out. It makes sense.
Regardless of what happens, he's going to have to sit at least 6 months.
Oh, yeah. Just to figure it out.
Just to figure it out.
Just to figure it out.
The dust settles. Yeah.
Right. They're not going to come in. What they're not going to do is the state or the feds aren't going to come in and say, wow, you know what? There was a total mistake and we understand what happened and that was totally not your fault. And so let's go ahead and let's get this guy out immediately.
And here's some money that I'm sure you lost wages. No.
Right. Yeah. None of that's going to happen. They're going to.
He's going to see. And with COVID, now they're going to postpone his hearing and postpone it again. And
it's going to be
it's going to be 6 months.
Yeah. It's a disaster.
Yeah.
And that's, I wanted to let everybody know because everybody really likes him. And what I would,
and I heard they liked the other guy that was supposed to come but couldn't come. So there is me. Then there is me.
So what I'm suggesting is that in the description, when this video comes out, I am going to place, I will place the information. Well, I'm going to play the information. If somebody wants to send money, like if you want to drop him, look, if you want to drop him $5, if you want to drop him $20 or $30, whatever, if you want to actually, if you say, oh man, that's too bad, I feel bad, I like the guy, I want to put some money on his books, then I'm gonna leave the information on whatever jail he's at, and let you know. Listen, here's how you do it.
You know what would be nice, actually, if you can leave a comment on on this podcast specifically, and maybe we can print it and send it to him. Kind of like a shout out to...
If anybody wants
to... Like I forgot I have to give a shout out to a few people. And we've done 3 videos already and I completely forgot about it.
So...
But Love Bug, shout out to you.
Bug.
Yeah.
All right.
But on a serious note,
I hope
what you should do is if you can leave a note on this podcast or a comment, then we'll print them out.
I can forward comments and I can leave a link like how to leave money for him or how to even write a letter or write money and put money on his books. I don't really even know how to do it. I'd have to figure out how to do it.
You know how to do it.
No, I know how to do it.
No, come on.
I know how to do it in federal prison. But
It's the same
he's
thing.
not in federal prison. He's in I don't know if he's the Marshal's holdover.
No, he's got to be on state. The state pick him up.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he's got, what county is this? Hills something or whatever? Pasco or I don't know.
We're still in Hillsborough. I don't know. I'll find out where
he's got to be in the county prison right now.
I'll find out where he went and I'll try and put something in there so we can figure that out. All right. So, and then of course I'll give you an update in a few months or 6 months or whatever when I figure out what's happened and how much time he's doing. I'll come back and we'll do another video where we explain this is what happened.
And this is the part that a lot of people don't know. When you're on federal probation specifically, they make you live such a straight life, like what you said. Even if he's not guilty of what he's being accused of, just the fact that the event happened is enough to violate you.
Yeah. If you like literally, I know guys that have been violated because, like, I knew a trucker, right, and he used to have to call in to his probation and say, "Look, I'm going through this state and this state, and I'm gonna drop something off here, and I'm coming back." And of course, first of all, you need it has to be approved 2 weeks prior. So that really was a problem for the guy. He said eventually he got it to the point where he had to prove it like within a couple of days. Like he got to the point where they were like, okay, we'll give you a couple of days. Well, what happened was he actually had gone and dropped off something at his destination, and he then they were like, look, since you're going back, they gave him another load, but this load actually was going to took him in a route that went through another state. And he said, I went through the other state because he said I was following like the Google Maps, and I went through the other state, and I realized when it happened as I was entering, I was like, oh man, I'm going through this other state, and I thought I didn't really tell him I'd be in Kentucky or whatever it was,
Yeah.
and he was like, man, it's 2 hours on the interstate. I'm not getting off. I'm fine. He gets pulled over and gets a ticket.
Oof.
They notify his probation officer. His probation officer said, you specifically were told not to go into other states. He's like, yeah, but I had it on the load and I didn't realize. And the Google, and they were like, I don't care. That's it. And he violated him. Boom. Went back to jail. He was there. He got like 6 months.
I did time with people that he had an argument with his wife, nothing violent. The neighbor called.
Right.
The cops showed up. They said, well, listen, de-escalated. Why don't you go to a hotel and stay in a hotel? And that's it. Next day, he was picked up.
Yeah.
Violated.
So there's issues. There's issues.
So, the
you
fact
don't
that
know.
he is sitting in prison right now doesn't mean that.
Jail. Whatever.
Correct.
Yeah.
He's just been once again a victim of a system that is a little bit more complex than most people think.
In this situation.
In this situation. And I said once again, not on his case.
Maybe
but in general, there's a lot of people that get violated for things that they shouldn't be violated.
Yes.
You know?
I don't know about once again.
I know Matt got violated over his probation once, but
I've never been violated by probation.
you got sentenced to probation the first time around.
Yeah, I got sentenced to probation, but I didn't violate the probation.
The new charge didn't violate your old probation?
The new charge, you mean where I stole 11.5 million or 15 million, and then eventually went on the run. So the 11.5 million did trigger a violation
Of probation.
of probation.
Okay.
And then the extra 3.5 million was also an issue. However, by that point, I was already violated.
Correct. And that gave you more time.
Yeah, it gave me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got something that was called a recency. You know
A what?
Recency is it's a recency is an enhancement. I think it's a 1 or a 2 point enhancement where if you are on federal probation and you commit an additional crime, you get an extra point added on to your.
But a lot of people may not know, and this is trying to make light of a dark moment.
Yeah.
There is no better time to be in prison than Christmas. You do get a Christmas bag.
You get a Christmas bag, and you get a Christmas meal. Well,
And you did how much time? 13 years?
No, if you're in federal prison.
But
if you're in state,
how big was your first Christmas bag?
my first Christmas bag was.
It had a
you know,
shirt
it's
and
funny
everything.
that you said- Oh,
It had
was
clothes.
Huge. It's huge.
Yeah.
No, you just give it shower slides. Like you got a huge bag. You got a huge bag, but every year the bag got smaller.
The last Christmas bag you got was probably about this big, and it had like a pack of Oreos and
but
some.
let's face it, who
some
thinks of a
candy.
Christmas bag? When they said, "Hey, we're getting a Christmas bag,"
I look forward to my
of
Christmas
course I
bag.
wanted
Of
it.
course.
I'm saying when I got there and I found out they give you a Christmas bag full of stuff like it's candies and it's
Cookies, candies,
sometimes-
pudding.
puddings, and,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's meat. It's like there's food in there.
Yeah, it's
Sometimes
not like a
canned
steak.
tuna.
You got to be more specific. It's like beef jerky.
Yeah, it's like or the tunas or the bags of potato chips. But
Yes.
the idea that they actually gave. I think this is state. This is federal. In state, like I think you get like a bologna sandwich.
Yeah, because I did spend Thanksgiving in Broward County.
How was that? Good.
It was bologna. No, it was a slice of it was turkey ham.
Okay. Oh, turkey ham. Nice.
Of course, because it's Thanksgiving, and on a white bread, and that's it. That was
you
it.
know how miserable he is right now.
Yeah. His
I'm
state is
going from this to freedom, and a regular bed, and I'm like, and a cell phone, and everything. Like, it's got to be.
I've noticed that profanity is not a thing that you use on your channel a lot.
Now, because here's why. Is because first of all,
I don't know if it's a censor, some kind of YouTube censorship,
what happened? Yeah,
or
YouTube-
just your sophisticated audience.
No, it's okay.
Gets
When I
easily
first
offended.
started, I was cussing a lot, and I cussed on Danny's a lot, and I cursed in general. Coming out of prison, I cursed all the time. But because I've been told many times that. What happens is the algorithm, it writes a transcript of what's being said.
Okay.
And so if you're cursing constantly, it doesn't quite distribute you quite as much.
It's not
because
accessible to.
It limits your exposure on who
course.
you can.
Okay, so I'm gonna use a few words, maybe one.
That's fine.
When
Nobody expects sophistication from you.
Nobody. Listen, English is my second language. So I did 8 years and 7 months. And when you first go to prison, you are afraid of so many things.
Yes.
But those things are not real. Like you walk in and you're like, oh my God, I'm going to have to join a gang and get some tears tattooed and maybe shank somebody.
Yeah.
But I never sat down and thought, it will be 8 years and 7 months the next time I get some pussy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a problem.
That is devastating.
It is devastating.
That is devastating. I mean, you get TVs, you get fed, you get clothes, but no pussy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I can imagine after that dry spell, if you will, coming out, getting some, and now going back to getting none. That will be, I'll have to be on suicide watch. Listen, tie me up and put me on observation and give me the Ninja Turtle outfit because I don't know how I can cope with that.
Yeah. It's
But
bad.
you know, and that's what he's gonna be going through right now.
Yeah.
Assuming that he was getting some.
Yeah, we're assuming he was. I mean, he's
Yeah.
got like, he has some when I say girlfriends, I mean, he has some friends that are girls. Like, I think like one of his best friends is a girl.
Okay.
And so she's contacted me. He's got his daughter. He's got a couple of friends, and they're when I say girlfriend, he does have a girlfriend. But there are other friends of his that are girls. So a couple of people have contacted me. They're like, well, not a couple, but you know, and they've said, hey, what's going on? Like, have you heard of him? No, I haven't heard anything. So anyway, yeah, that it's out there.
Yeah.
So it's an issue. It would be an issue for me.
It would be a huge issue for me.
Well, no, for you it definitely would.
I mean,
I'm not as
doesn't
smooth.
mean that I'm getting a lot, but
I'm not as
when
smooth
you've
as-
gone 8.5 years getting none,
Of
some
course, you
is
know.
a lot.
Well, you know what's funny is like, because like I got out and met this chick in the halfway house. So immediately,
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Kobe, get ready. We're going there.
I'm saying immediately, like I only slept with her the whole time. And then we recently broke up, which means I'm available. So if you know anybody,
Subscribe.
subscribe, hit the like button.
Click the like button.
Yeah, leave a comment, hand her phone number, send photos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you still that superficial? After 13 years in prison, you have not learned that it's what's inside that matters?
Are you serious?
No, I'm
Look
not
at
serious.
Me. Look at me. I'm amazing. I mean, I deserve a nice piece of,
Furniture?
should I say ass? Nice piece of ass. I got that coming. I put my time in, bro.
Yeah. You deserve it.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that's it. So yeah, definitely. I was serious about the girl thing. So I was serious about that. So if you know anybody, just keep in mind, 5'7" with a good pair of shoes, which really means 5'6".
Yeah, barefooted. 5'7"?
With a good pair of shoes. With a good pair of shoes.
Okay.
5'6".
So if
now.
you know anybody, midget.
Anyway,
No, just
I don't
kidding.
think you can say midget.
Short people?
You're killing me, bro.
What is it
Let's
called?
just avoid the topic. All right. So yeah, definitely. Okay, so stay tuned. We're gonna wrap this up and
Pray for him. Please, stay on top of the story.
yeah.
Follow
definitely,
up on the story.
Definitely. And if I learn anything, I will update you. And so once again, I appreciate you guys listening. If you are watching, listening, whatever you're doing, if you do me a
Let us
favor.
know if you want me to continue showing up to the podcast. You know,
of
you
course,
should do this like
by-
Regis and Kelly. When Regis retired, then you tested some co-hosts, and the audience chose who should be your next co-host.
I actually have another co-host.
The guy that didn't show up, and you call
No,
me.
this is a chick. This is actually a chick.
Oh, you're gonna maybe
I'm gonna
compete against
show.
a chick, man.
Listen,
A
honestly,
chick is always gonna beat me.
Colby, you've seen her, right? I didn't send you the pictures of her.
Kobe's married, bro. Don't put him on the spot like that.
Look, I'm just gonna show you. I'm not gonna wait. Hold on.
She's got nothing on me, bro. I'm way hotter than that. I can sport a bra and panties way better than
There's
her.
not bra and panties.
Just kidding, guys.
This is her with her husband. She's married. She's very,
Oh.
very smart, very funny.
You think her husband is gonna let her co-host with you?
Yeah. Listen, this is why I think she's hilarious, because she used to work at the gym. Like, so she used to work at the gym where Treon, my buddy Treon Colta, we used to
Okay.
work. And I'm sitting there working with her. And so she's hanging out with us all day. And she's like 24, 25 at the time. And I remember I said to her, her name's Lena. I go, Lena, I got a question for you. And she goes, what's up? I said, what does your husband think? Is he worried? She goes, about what? I go, I mean, you're hanging out with two guys all day long. And she looked at me and she goes, yeah. She is my young, good-looking, wealthy husband is concerned I'm hanging out with you two old geezers. And I looked at her and she goes, And she walked off. And I mean, Treon and I, my knees almost buckled. I was so fucking hurt. And she said it like so fast. Woo! I mean, she didn't have to think about it. She was like,
That means it's a true statement. He couldn't give 3 shits about her hanging out with you.
yeah. She was like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna risk this guy for you.
So if you want me to continue to co-host and you want to, just leave a comment and I'll follow up with you.
All right.
And if you don't want me, leave a comment too. It's okay. I can take it.
Listen, nobody's watched this long. They watched like less than 30% of the videos. So nobody knows. No, at this point, we can say anything. All right. So, hey, if you like the video, do me a favor and subscribe, hit the bell, leave a comment, share the video, leave a nasty comment, and Juan's going to say something in Spanish right now.
Por favor, si quieren que vuelva al show, suscríbanse, apretan el botón y I'll see you later. Ciao.
I hope that was all right. I don't know what she said. You didn't say Blanco.
No Blanco this time.
Something about the white guy, right? Is that Blanco?
Blanco, yeah.